Hello peeps and peepettes, it's time for episode number 59 of the TEW 2016 challenge run. We are booking SmackDown and 205 Live today, the 1st of August, on the road to SummerSlam. And without any further ado, let's get straight into it. SmackDown kicks off with Aleister Black coming to the ring, bragging about how he defeated Randy Orton at Crown Jewel, and saying that he's the greatest superstar on SmackDown Live, he's the most dangerous superstar on SmackDown Live, and whatever awaits him at SummerSlam, he'll be happy to overcome whoever it is and remain champion for a long time. Whether that be Randy Orton again, whether that be Finn Balor, Drew McIntyre, Mr. Money in the Bank Ricochet, Daniel Bryan, Apollo Crews, or Kevin Owens, or anybody else for that matter. Aleister Black is one kick away from retaining his championship and proving once again that he's a man to be feared, and that no man is ever truly good or evil. And when you've got that going for you, nobody can stop you. Simple but effective promo from Aleister. New Day get a 75 B- out of the fucking colognes. So they get their win after promising last week that New Day are going to return to form and make a claim for the tag team titles. They get a win here. The new Intercontinental Champion Ricochet comes to the ring, and he says that he was in a fight of his life on Sunday night, and Robert Roode was a hell of a challenge, but he overcame him, he overcame the odds and became the new Intercontinental Champion. So he's pretty much the most valuable man on SmackDown Live right now, because he carries with him in this briefcase a shot to become WWE Champion whenever he wants. And he's also the current Intercontinental Champion. So there's not really much to stop Ricochet from becoming a double champion here on SmackDown Live. And he's happy that in his short space of time, he's made such an impact on SmackDown. And make no mistake about it, even if he cashes in to become WWE Champion, he'll still be proud to hold this Intercontinental Championship with pride. That's when he's interrupted by The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro, who aren't really congratulatory of him. They're like, the fact that I'm sat here, I'm Sheamus, I'm a former 4-time world champion, a former United States champion, a former Raw Tag Team champion, a former SmackDown Tag Team champion. But you're sitting there holding the Intercontinental Championship after being here for 4 months, being here for a cup of coffee. Yet I've been here for a decade, and I've never held that championship that you're holding and basically holding hostage to because you don't deserve it, I do. And don't even get me started on Cesaro here, who's been looking to break that glass ceiling and break the cusp of the main event scene, and becoming Intercontinental Champion would be his first step to doing that. Yeah, he's got to sit back just like I do and watch some guy who does cool flips hold the belt hostage, while actual hard workers like us have to sit back with nothing. And then Ricochet's like, maybe if you weren't busy getting beaten by two dudes in cosplay, maybe you would have a shot at the Intercontinental Championship. And then Sheamus gets in his face, but before anything can happen, they're interrupted by Robert Roode, who's like, no, Sheamus, no Cesaro. Whether or not I feel the same way about how you've been disrespected, and whether or not you deserve the Intercontinental Championship is irrelevant, because I deserve it more than you do, because it was mine, and it was stolen from me. So at SummerSlam, I wish to challenge Ricochet to another match for the Intercontinental Championship. And then Mike Kanellis also comes out with Maria, and he says, well, last night I shocked the world when I defeated Rusev and I sent him packing from SmackDown Live. And when I was called up from 205 Live, I came here with a purpose, and that purpose was not to sit back and watch Sheamus, Cesaro and Robert Roode take opportunities that I feel I've earned in my short time here by picking up victory after victory after being held back for so long on 205 Live. And then Ricochet, he speaks up, he's like, well, I see we've got 4 people here. people think they have a rightful shot at my championship, why don't we have a match tonight to determine who will be my challenger for SummerSlam? And then Mike Kanellis is like, okay, sure. Then Robert Roode's like, hang on, I've got a better idea. We've got 4 of us here who have a great shot, who have great opportunities for your championship. Mike and I are quite alike. The Bar obviously are an already oiled machine. And you're just standing there alone by yourself. So why don't the 4 of us beat you down right now and take the opportunity? And then all 4 men would corner Ricochet when the Big Show would come out on the stage. And he says, I see a lot of opportunity in this ring. I don't know who the number contender is going to be, but I see an opportunity for a great match here tonight. Like you said, Rude, you and Mike have many things in common. So you two can team up tonight to take on Sheamus and Cesaro with the Bar. But also Ricochet. But Ricochet is alone. But luckily for Ricochet, I've got somebody who also is just like him, looking to make a name for himself here on SmackDown Live. Very exciting performer to watch. And just like you, Mike, he was on 205 Live looking to break through onto SmackDown. But unlike you, he went about it the right way and became Cruiserweight Champion and kept racking up wins and impressing the WWE Universe, whereas you bitched and moaned to come here. That's when he brings out Ricochet's tag team partner, Buddy Murphy, who makes the jump from 205 to SmackDown Live. And then we get the triple threat tag team match right now, in which Ricochet and Murphy defeat the Bar and Mike and Robert Roode. When it's not elimination, he pins Mike Kanellis with the Murphy's Law. So now we've got 6 people who appear to want a shot at the Intercontinental Championship. Will any of them get it? I'm sure they will. Mike, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be better off without Maria Mann. That's why you've still got her after all this time. More pictures. Sasha Banks and Bayley come out. And they say that, as they said on Monday Night Raw, they were coming to SmackDown with a purpose. And that purpose was to pick out who they thought were their worthy challengers for the Women's Tag Team Championships at SummerSlam. Now, obviously, as fighting champions, they have to sit back and woman up and say, yeah, we were blindsided by the Iconics and they beat us. Whether or not we thought it was fair and square, that's a different story. But the fact of the matter remains, the history books say that the Iconics won. And also the Iconics have a fair point when they say that they never lost those tag team championships at WrestleMania. But we were offered the opportunity to pick our opponents, and we're going to call them out right now. So Kairi Sane, Io Shirai, come out here now. And then they come out, the Sky Pirates. And Sasha and Bayley say, obviously the Iconics they deserve a title shot because they never lost the titles and they beat the champions. What do you say about making this Women's Tag Team Championship match a triple threat match? Obviously they agree, but then out comes Alexa Bliss, who says, let me get this straight, I've been one of the top women in this division ever since my call up in 2016. There's no way I'm missing SummerSlam. And I see an opportunity here. You say that the Iconics got a shot because they beat the champions. Well, what about me? And what if me and my best friend, Ember Moon, we come out here right now and beat you? Does that mean we get a title shot? And Sasha's like, Alexa, we've never got on. We've never seen eye to eye, but again, we're fair champions. You come out here, you beat...
We never got on with Never the Night by blurring your music library.
Okay. So now I'm thrown off again. But we are fair champions. If you come in here, we have a match right now, and if you win, sure, we'll make it a fatal 4-way. So Alexa Bliss and Ember Moon, their first match as a tag team, they beat the tag team champions. Ember Moon pins Bayley with the Eclipse. And suddenly, this match has gone from Sasha and Bayley at the start of the week thinking, yeah, we'll just defend it against Kairi and Io at SummerSlam, to now being a fatal 4-way tag team championship match. Kevin Owens is backstage, reveling in his defeat when he's approached by Leo, Bobby, and Apollo. And Leo's laughing. He's like, Kevin, maybe now you'll learn your lesson. That at Crown Jewel, Apollo Crews put you in your place and proved why he's the greatest superstar and the greatest specimen here on SmackDown Live. Look at you. You're all down in the dumps, while me and Apollo and the almighty Bobby Lashley are all in high spirits here tonight. As a matter of fact, we're in such high spirits, we're willing to let you the opportunity to kiss Bobby Lashley's ass. And Kevin's like, no, I'm not going to kiss Bobby Lashley's ass, you can kiss my ass. And Leo says, well, I'm in such a good mood, I'm going to let that one slide. But I'm in such a good mood, I fancy a match tonight against any of your friends, Kevin Owens. But oh wait, I forgot, you have no friends. And that's when from the back of the frame we see Truth and Axel messing around with their proton packs or whatever. And they stop, they're like, hey Kevin, what's the matter? And Owens, he smiles, he's like, hey, remember all those months ago when I helped you beat Randy Orton and pretty much helped you become SmackDown Tag Team Champions with that win? And Axel's like, yeah. And then Kevin's like, I've got a great idea. Why don't you two do me a solid? One of you two gets the opportunity to shut up this little prick. And R-Truth says, yeah, I'll take on Lio Rush. So Lio Rush and Bobby Lashley. Lio Rush and R-Truth have their match later on tonight. But first of all, it's Andrade against Rowan. Andrade picks up the win with a hammerlock DDT. After the match, he grabs the Singapore cane. He looks to continue to beat on Rowan. Daniel Bryan thinks about getting in, but as he tries to slide in, Andrade swings the cane at him and he sort of runs away, backs away, he doesn't want to get hit. And he leaves Rowan for dead as Andrade continues to smack him on the back. And Zelina grabs the microphone and she says, Daniel, Andrade's not going to forget what you did. Andrade's not going to let you cheat to get a victory over him at Crown Jewel. So Andrade, pissed off and ready to go, is waiting for you to accept his challenge for a rematch at SummerSlam. And Bryan doesn't answer him. And you get the match. R-Truth pins Lio Rush with a what's up. That was pretty much all for that segment. We then get Big E and Kofi happy and celebrating after their win earlier on tonight. When they get back to their locker room, and they open the door and out walks Court Moore. And he says, Big E, Kofi, great win earlier on tonight for you guys. One of the greatest tag teams of this generation, of course you are, but you might want to think more carefully when you say you want a tag team championship shots. Because in case you forgot, the champions, they're not one to back down from a fight. And then he walks off, and then Big E and Kofi enter the locker room to find Xavier Woods laid out, presumably by AOP. The main event gets a 91A. Finn Balor and Randy Orton have their match. Randy Orton defeats him with an RKO in 17 minutes. It is an interesting match. But the actual main event segment gets an 85B+. Shayna Baszler, the SmackDown Women's Champion, comes out. She's bragging. She says, I came to SmackDown Live. I was bored of all the competition. I'd beaten everybody in NXT. So I came to SmackDown to try and challenge myself because I've beaten everybody there is to beat already. So I heard so much about Charlotte Flair and Asuka and Alexa Bliss. I beat all three of them. Kyrie, who beat me once in NXT and thinks she's hot shit, I beat her again. I beat her best friend, Io Shirai. So there's literally nobody left here on SmackDown that I'm yet to beat. And quite frankly, I'm bored of it because I want some real competition here. I want somebody that can actually challenge me. I'm sick and tired of the easy matches. She's then interrupted by Liv Morgan, who says, Shayna, you haven't beaten me yet. I'm here for a fight, let's go. And Shayna's like, really? You want to do this now? And then Liv gets in her face and actually slaps Shayna in the face and gets a couple of shots off on Shayna. But they're short-lived. Shayna quickly gets back on top, takes Liv down, and gets her in an armbar. And she looks ready to break Liv Morgan's arm when a shot from the parking lot appears on the Titantron that catches Shayna's attention. A car pulls up, and out of the car steps Ronda Rousey, who got choked out by Shayna on her first night on SmackDown Live after the draft, and suddenly Shayna Baszler lets go of Liv. She suddenly looks like she's starting to panic as Ronda, her best friend, storms to the ring. She storms out onto the stage and Shayna grabs her mic. She's like, whoa, Ronda, stop. Welcome back. It's good to see you. But Ronda keeps slowly walking to the ring. And she's like, listen, about that whole thing from after Mania, yeah, that was all a misunderstanding. I just came here to make my mark. And I wanted people to really know who Shayna Baszler was. You can understand that. You were in the same situation when you first came to WWE. You attacked Triple H to try and make a name for yourself for people who didn't know you. And I took you out because you were the biggest name I could find. You're still my best friend. We're still, look. Holds up the 4 Horsewomen hand sign as Ronda gets in the ring. And Ronda just glares at her and she smiles and holds up the 4 Horsewomen hand sign herself. And she's like, see, Ronda, see? It was all a misunderstanding. Let's have a hug. They go to hug, but as she closes in for the hug, boom, she does the arm drag to Shayna Baszler and locks her in an armbar. Shayna visibly taps because it's not a match, so it doesn't matter. Ronda lets go and Shayna rolls out of the ring holding her arm in pain. And then Ronda looks down at the SmackDown Women's Championship and then picks it up and looks at it before tossing it outside the ring to Shayna to end the show. Long SmackDown today, and it gets an 89B+. That's a very good score for SmackDown. And let's see what 205 Live can get for their first show on the road to SummerSlam. And here we are with 205 Live. We start with the Hurricane in his office, saying that, for those of you who saw SmackDown Live just now, which is probably all of you because this airs straight after SmackDown, you saw Buddy Murphy had now made the jump to 205 Live, from 205 Live to SmackDown. This is something that he asked me for a couple of weeks ago, and I've just been filing the paperwork for it, and now it's all complete. So Buddy Murphy, he did great while he was on 205 Live, and we wish him the best of luck on SmackDown. But as of right now, his point has been erased from the scoreboard, and he's no longer a part of the Cruiserweight roster. However, with this comes opportunity, because I've signed a new top star to 205 Live that can fulfill the void left by Buddy Murphy. And you'll see him sooner than you may think. Another scoreboard match, Jack Gallagher and Aiden English. Aiden English defeats Gallagher with the director's cut, and this erased Jack Gallagher from the board because he had 2 points, and Aiden English had 1 point. Aiden wins him, he's now on 2. Aiden wins him, he wins here, beats him. He's now on 2, and Jack Gallagher is on 0. We then get the first tag team tag team scoreboard match, in which the Dogs Bollocks score a point because they beat Carrillo and Angelico. Noam Dar 66, 56 for Kenny, 56 for Angelico, 49 for Carrillo. So the first tag team to score points on the scoreboard is the Dogs Bollocks. We then cut to like one of those WWE Network adverts, and we come back and see Carrillo and Angelico bickering about their loss again when Angel Garza walks into frame. He's like, Carrillo, you need to stop hanging around with this loser. I'm your cousin. I'll team with me and I'll bring you to greatness, and I'll prove just how good I am when next week I teach this loser a lesson. So Garza and Angelico appears to be set for next week. But the champion and his manager and his 2 associates are in the ring, and Paige is like, Tyler Bate, is the greatest champion in history, and with that win earlier on by Noam Dar and Kenny Williams, that is their first win on their rise to 3 points to the top of the scoreboard. So those Lucha Dragons better be careful and watch their backs, because their first challenges are also going to be their last challenges. That brings out Sin Cara and Kalisto with their championships, and they're like, you know what? We've had a word with the Hurricane backstage, because we had to for reasons. And we asked him this. Noam and Kenny, forget about the scoreboard, we'll give you a title shot. Just out of the kindness of our heart. But on one condition. And Paige is like, what is that condition? Tyler Bate wrestles right now tonight, obviously, and if he loses, he's been beaten, therefore he has to give the person who beat him a shot. And Paige is like, yeah, that's fine. Who is his opponent? Tyler's beaten everyone on this roster already. And Kalisto's like, yeah, that kind of is true. He kind of has beaten everyone on this roster, I guess. I don't personally buy it, but you can make that claim. However, it's a good job that the person that we've got isn't a member of the WWE roster, isn't a member of the 205 Live roster. He's been signed from the WWE main roster to come to 205 Live to bolster its star power and become the new face of the brand. And it's somebody you've never beaten, Tyler. In fact, it's probably somebody you idolize. And out comes Rey Mysterio. And him and Tyler Bate have their match, 69C+, in which Rey Mysterio defeats Tyler Bate with a 619 into the C had sent on, pinning the champion. And yeah, Rey is the new number one contender for the Cruiserweight Championship. But also by proxy, Noam Dar and Kenny Williams get the tag title shot. So we end the show, and it gets 63C. Pretty decent rate for 205 Live. And we'll see the fallout of this next week, as well as Garza versus Angelico. See you then.